You know, if you're in the freshwater arena, the guy next to me needs no introduction. You've seen him a lot over the years, but Bill, we're at the FishLab booth here at ICAST and talking about a couple of new presentations. I want you to show me, because we've got a little bit of crossover that I can help us get from fresh to salt. But tell me about your new buzzbait. Give me the tour of that.
Real quick, you know, buzzbait's been around forever, and the concept of topwater bites is incredible. We wanted to change things up. Most buzzbaits out of the package, if they had a certain click to it or clack, you couldn't adjust it. It was the same. We came out with a new quad blade that is a twin V tandem, has multiple wire-to-wire, metal-to-metal parts, so you increase that squeak, which is known for buzzbait fishing. But the really cool design is with the new bolt hull design. It has super quick lift. Most buzzbaits back in the day, you had to bend a prop to try to create lift and drag. You don't need it on this. And the other reason, most blades, when you mess with the blades, all of a sudden the bait will start getting, it's done. It gets all wonky. So what we did is with this individual tandem V blade, you're able to fish it out of the package super quiet if you want that type of approach. Say big red, snook, whatever, largemouth bass. But if you want to do pound busting jackhammer stuff, you manually just take one of the blades and you push it down on the boat, the one that comes in contact with the following blade, and you increase the sound.
So it gets louder.
It gets super loud. Like you cannot throw it far enough away and not hear it.
That's awesome.
So we went to a realistic, we're taking baits to realism. My batching it up with the Nature Series frog. And like I said, it's one of the fun baits that we have this year in the show. And the other thing is spinner baits.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting because you're really just going with the tail.
Right, so historically, spinnerbaits are a skirted jig with either a tandem willow, tandem Colorado, and it's an illusion bait. I don't like illusion. I want the fish eating what they want. So by adding the BBZ mimic tail, man, this thing comes alive as, first of all, now you have a true realistic bait fish. So we went from illusion to realism by something so simple like adding a cherry on top of a cream, right? But there's a lot of power into this. Most spinnerbaits, when you pull them out of the package, they actually swim friction of the blade here. Most spinnerbaits swim at a 45, hook down, skirt across, so it doesn't look natural. An aggressive approach with the 50-degree angle, 035 stainless, we have great vibration, but what happens is the harmonics is the key. We don't understand it, but fish do. The harmonics now will go down through the head and through 3/4 of the shank of the hook, which means this tail should have no play, no movement, no action. But since we're not deadening it by putting a big piece of plastic, weighting it down or something, the vibrations will actually come through the tail, and it looks so natural. And with no friction, when you hit stuff, deflection. When it ricochets or hunts, you keep that capability. So any skirt, like a chatterbait, swim bait, buzz bait, swim jig, by creating an illusion of realism, you keep all the other factors that truly trigger fish. So. And it comes with the BBZ. You know, if you got chatterbaits, you want to pick some up. If you have an old spinnerbait that you want to make look real again, put that on and start throwing it, and you're going to catch more fish.
We always talk about the crossover impact of freshwater to salt, and we learned so much in salt from some of you guys in the fresh. We've spent a lot of time in the fresh. You guys know the FishLab. We've talked about the mad eel and so many things. You've used them in the past, and we'll just tell you this is a brand new thing too.
Yes.
The Flutter Nymph from FishLab. Great freshwater bait, largemouth bass.
Right. Well, we originally did it so anglers like to flip and pitch across the U.S. So we wanted a bait that looked realistic around toolies. Everybody has these creature baits. I'm about realism. I don't want to throw a creature at a bait. I want to throw a frog or a dragonfly or a nymph or a bird. So we came out with this for freshwater first. But last year, talking to you guys, the biggest thing is hey, how do we take baits from salt or freshwater to salt? That is a true crossover. And I laughed and I said, here's the biggest thing. It's for flipping or pitching. Drop shot, Ned rig, Carolina rig, weightless weed hook. We're doing all this stuff, catching a lot of bass. Well, last year the guys started turning this upside down, fishing it with the wings down. It looks like a shrimp. So that's a secret. So they're taking the head off, they're putting a Ned rig on it, upside down, they're going across the bottom. The speckled trout, the flounder, the snook. Like, it's really cool when you have a company that understands fish, that fish are fish. Bass, stripers, redfish, snook, a lot of the techniques are the same, you're just fishing different waterways.
Right.
So what we're trying to do is truly get a technique and a crossover bait for all of us to enjoy.
Bill, when is this available?
They're ready.
These are already available. So I know the guys back in Jersey, southern Jersey, in the fall, you're looking for trying to get into those specs. But also, if you're hunting for weak fish throughout the Northeast and they're on shrimp, you might want to give that a look. FishLab, very realistic, durable, great product. Bill, I love spending time
I
with you.
know.
Thank you.
This is fun. You guys make sure you follow them along, man. They have great information.